Yo, YouTube, you know who this is. This is your boy DJ Cool Thing from Cool Thing Entertainment. Welcome back to another video on my channel, and welcome to part 1 on how to become a DJ in 2021. And this is about how to build your setup from the ground up. So we're going to use multiple websites and how to go out and buy your first set of DJ equipment, because we are at the tail end of the COVID-19 pandemic. We're starting to get back to work. Things are starting to get back to normal. People are starting to book parties and different events. And you guys might be interested in becoming a DJ. And this might be the perfect time than ever to become a DJ. So, first thing we need to do is build a setup. And we'll start off with Amazon, because we need to get a table to put everything on. And I highly recommend this one right here, the Lifetime 4428 height adjustable table. It's got 4 different settings: 22, 24, 29, and 36. And it's a really good looking table. I've had mine for about a couple of years now. As you can see, it was last purchased on June 3rd, 2019. Which is crazy to think about. It's been 2 years since I purchased this table. And the first time I got to use that table was my church's fall kickoff of 2019. And it's been very good ever since. It's been very reliable ever since. And it's made out of a special plastic that is very rugged, very durable, and will last a long, long time. As you can see, the frame is made out of metal and is polyethylene plastic, so that's the type of material for the table, and it's powder coated, which is pretty good. 46.66, which is $46.66, so it's almost $50. So it's not too bad of a price to get started building your setup from the ground up. This is a good starting point. It's the Lifetime 4428 height adjustable table. The next thing you need is a table scrim. And then of course with the table you need a 4-foot table scrim. And then this is where all those scrims really are. Just look through them, see which one you want. But this one right here is a good starting point. It's from a company called Spandex. It's a spandex fitted stretch tablecloth, rectangular polyester, 4-foot, and open black, 4-foot. I mean, there's different colors, different types. I mean, there's plenty of different scrims out there. You gotta know where to look. I mean, this one looks pretty cool and everything. The Ambrose black table scrim, 4-foot. Oh, this one's a 6-foot, so I don't think it'll fit on a 4-foot table. But the one I got what I got is the Utopia Kitchen table scrim, 4-foot. And I purchased this on January 31st, 2020. And you can see all the different buying options. Because it's not new anymore, I bought it in 2020 when it was still new, and you can still buy it brand new for $22.99, which isn't too bad. It's called the Utopia Kitchen 4-foot table scrim. As you can see, I've had this for a little over a year now. I've had it since January of 2020, right before the pandemic hit. And when the pandemic hit, I had to watch what I spend my money on, so I wasn't buying as much equipment as I normally would from 2018 and 2019. And yeah, it's a good good starting point to get started with your first ever table scrim, and then move your way up to better scrims, and you can get a new one every so often. But this is the one. Is actually a good starting point. Or you can get the bundle with the lifetime 4428 table and an iceberg 4-foot table cover, or table scrim, whatever you like to call it. I mean, it goes by different names: tablecloth, table scrim, table cover. So that is your good starting point. The next thing you need is a controller, because you won't be able to DJ without a controller. So the best thing to do is to go to Guitar Center's website and take a look at the different controllers by going to DJ, or you can go to Z-Sounds and do the payment option. But I prefer Guitar Center, and I can see if I can do in-store pickup. But I've been a DJ for 3 years now. Yeah, I don't think they do the in-store pickup. Yeah, contactless curbside pickup. And you can see your local Guitar Center if you want to go ahead and buy it. So, as you can see, this is a top seller. The Pioneer DJ DDJ SB3 Serato DJ Lite controller. But I guess you can use Virtual DJ or Serato Pro for more structure and more features. But as so yeah, you can use Virtual DJ, Serato Pro, Serato Lite. You can use Algorithm DJ Pro AI, which is another good app for more professional feeling. I mean, there's different pieces of DJ software, which we'll talk in part 2. Because after you buy a controller, we'll talk about the different pieces of software that you can get as a DJ to get you started. But I guess it depends on what your controller is compatible with. And yeah, there's the DDJ SB3, really good controller. And on the back, it's got a RCA output. It's got a microphone, quarter-inch. It's got a quarter-inch microphone input. It's got a USB port for connecting it to your laptop using the software. As you can see, it's just well structured. And the layout looks really, really good as well. Where you have all your EQs, like your high, mids, and lows, low and high pass filter, your trim, your load buttons, your auto loop, sampler, pad scratch, effects page, hot cues, and you got a 2-deck. You got up faders, cross fader, tempo sliders, the level of your effects on the top there. And you can actually switch it between deck 3 and deck 4. If you want to do 4-deck mixing, you have to have a special, you got to know what you're doing in order to do 4-deck mixing. I mean, this thing does have ability for 4-deck mixing, especially when you're using CDJs or vinyl, but that'll come with controllers like the DDJ SR2, where it has an input for your CDJs or your turntables. You use the 4-deck mode, but you can use the same jog wheels. You can use the same decks here for decks 3 and 4 if you're into that kind of thing. So that is the DDJ SB3, which is a top seller on this website. Next one is the DDJ 400. These are the top 2 beginner controllers out there. There's also the DDJ 200 if you want to stick with your smartphone or your tablet and DJ from that. But I mean, what's the fun in that? I mean, using a laptop can give you more versatility. You have more control, yet more, a better, man, I can't think of the right word to describe why using a laptop is better than using your smartphone or a tablet. I guess because you get more power, it's more powerful than using a smartphone or a tablet. In this case, I have an iPhone 10 and I can't DJ from this. As you can see, the screen is so small. So you get more power, you get more control over your settings and over the software. But there is some really good things about using your laptop than using your smartphone or tablet. So I guess if you want to use a smartphone or tablet like this, then I highly recommend the DDJ 200. It's got Bluetooth, MIDI, USB for power, your phone's sound card as the audio device. You can use you can use a Bluetooth speaker. You can use pretty much any portable system, really. But I mean, what's the fun in that? I mean, so I guess some of the bigger platforms for DJing is on a laptop, whether it's Windows or Mac. In this case, I have a MacBook Air 2018. And we have, here's the DDJ 400, which is the bigger cousin to the DDJ 200. See, it's got RCA. This is why I like the SB3 and the DDJ 400, because it's got a sound card built in. You can just connect straight into your controller and connect your laptop to connect the controller to your laptop using the USB cable. And of course, there's the 1/4-inch microphone input for connecting a wired mic, which I highly recommend for pretty much any DJ, really. We'll talk about that in a later part of the video. So after you get your controller, you see there's plenty of other brands out there, not just Pioneer. As you can see, there's Rain One. Yeah, there's Rain. There's Roland, Newmark, another Newmark, Denon DJ, Hercules. But no matter what controller you get, it'll work with its own software. You just got to look around and see. You can type in DJ software compatible with such and such controller. But I'm not going to show you that because I already have the software of choice I want. I use Rekordbox for the DDJ 400. Yeah, I use the DDJ 400 with Rekordbox and Serato for the DDJ SR2, which is an intermediate controller. Once you start getting your gigs, it has more control, so it's for intermediate and also pro, maybe even beginner. But I'm not really sure on that. So as you can see, there's 319 matches for controllers. So the DJ SB3 is definitely the best way to go if you want something like that. There's also the DJ 400, which is perfect to get started as well. So the DJ 200 is really good if you want, but this one is only it's best with smartphones like this one right here, the iPhone, and also your tablet. And what's weird about this one, it doesn't have a sound card built right in. Which is why it's so cheap, because there's a lot less added to it. Because as you can see, there's nothing on it except for a USB port for connecting it to a power, a power source. You can connect it to your computer and use your computer's built-in sound card, which makes it difficult to connect an easy setup. Which is why I personally recommend the DDJ SP3 and the DDJ 400. Because they both have sound cards built right in, and they're perfect for beginner DJs out there. The next thing is an RCA cable. We'll type in RCA to RCA. RCA to RCA. See, there's an Amazon Basics RCA to RCA cable. I actually have this one. I last purchased this on July 6th. I purchased the 8-foot male-to-male cable on July 6th, 2020 for the case build, so I can use it with my mixer and still have room to spare with the speakers. But that didn't go well. It definitely did not work well. So I didn't really use this thing a whole lot except for live streaming. But it's really good if you're connecting just to one speaker. See, there's a whole bunch of RCA cables. And you want, see, a lot of DJs actually go with HOSA. And this is what an RC and an RCA cable looks like. And of course, 1/4 inch to XLR is what you'll get. See, there's 3-foot. This is definitely perfect to go from your controller to a mixer, which we'll show you in a little bit. Because there is a gold. See, this is the gold-plated HOSA RCA to RCA cable, 3-foot, which is perfect to go from your beginner controller into a mixer, and of course from the mixer to your speakers, which you'll need at least a 20-foot cord that I'll show you what to get. As you can see, this one is $8.99. The SP3 and the DJ 400 are like the same price at $249. Not too bad to get started. And then we'll type in external mixer. Here we go, external mixer. I would actually stay away from some of the budget brands. But if you want to get a budget brand, then be my guest. I highly recommend the Xenix. Wow, the Behringer Xenix 802. Not too bad. It's got RCA. So I would highly recommend anything from Behringer, because Behringer has some really good mixers out there, like this one right here, the 802. It's an 8-channel mixer, just enough to get you started, and then you can work on that for a little bit. As you can see, it's got 1/4 inch. You can use that as your mixer as well, because you're not going to be connecting a lot of you're not going to be using a lot of equipment with your mixer. Just your wired microphone. It can be either 1/4 inch or XLR, and you can use it to do announcements or whatever you want. Because a lot of beginner DJs aren't going to be needing any wireless mics, because they're not going to be doing any weddings or anything that is needing wireless mics. But I guess you can get a wireless mic for stepping out on the dance floor and interacting with the crowd at a party or whatever. But the best mixer to buy nowadays is the 1202 at just $99. It's the best seller on Amazon. As you can see here, it's got a lot of versatility with 4 XLR quarter-inch combos, which this one actually will grow with you. You can actually connect XLR from your new controller once you start getting enough experience, and of course they'll use the same XLR cables to connect to your speakers. So this one I highly recommend, the Xenix 1202 FX. But yeah, I highly recommend this particular mixer. Just go from RCA, and of course a quarter-inch right here at the very top, and that will go from from here to your speakers in order to get that stereo separation from a beginner controller, like the DDJ SB3 or the DDJ 400. And with your mixer, you would need HOSA quarter-inch to XLR, because a lot of DJ speakers have either quarter-inch or XLR, but XLR will give you the better separation. These look pretty good. 20-foot XLR to quarter-inch cables. Not too bad. So this is what I highly recommend. The 2 HOSA HPX 020 XLR to quarter-inch cable, 20-foot Pro unbalanced for $39.95, which isn't too bad at all. I mean, these look really, really nice. I mean, you could pretty much use any HOSA quarter-inch to XLR cord. Just go to the HOSA store right here at the bottom here, and quarter-inch to XLR. Yeah, XLR to quarter-inch. It can go vice versa, and see what we can find. And for the length of cord, I highly recommend a 20-foot, which is plenty, to go down your speakers and up to your mixer, which will give you that stereo separation from a beginner controller. Let's take a look at this one, and all they have is up to 15 feet. So the one I showed you before is the one I highly recommend, because it's got a set of 2, which will go from your left and right channel, so it'll give you the best stereo separation. And it's only $40 for a pack of 2 HOSA quarter-inch to XLR cords to go from your mixer to your speakers. As you can see, it's got the same. You see, it's got the contacts to connect directly to your speakers, and the quarter-inch right into your mixer, into the main output for the left and right channel. So this is what I highly recommend for the audio cables. The next thing we need to get are speakers. So I highly recommend going back to Guitar Center and go all the way down to Live Sound. And you can take a look at some powered speakers. That's what I highly recommend as well, powered speakers. And Harbinger, the Vari V2312s are $300. But I think as a beginner, let's take a look at Alto. Yeah, let's take a look at the Alto speakers and see what they got. And see which ones are best for, for a beginner DJ to get started. Let's see here. There are the TS315s or the 312s, depending on which size you want. Okay, so I mean, I've heard a lot of bad things about the TX series. Let's take a look at the TS312s. $250. But for a pack of 2, yeah, for a pair, for one pair of speakers, I mean, 12 inches is good enough to get started because you're not going to be doing big parties. But I guess if you want, I actually started out with 15-inch speakers, so these are really good. No thanks for the pro coverage because, if they break, you can always buy new ones. So these are the TS312s or the TS315s, depending on how many people you DJ for. Almost $500 for the Alto TS312s, and they can go pretty loud. I have the JBL Eon 612s, which are really good. So JBL is really good as well. I have a pair of JBL Eon 612s, which are really, really good. But I guess for beginners, Alto is the best brand. Harbinger, not really, because it's kind of like a cheap budget brand for DJs. Alto is right, it's like in the mid-range between beginner and pro level speakers. But these are really good speakers, so I highly recommend the TS312s. Two-way power loudspeakers, especially as a beginner. Or maybe you can get some studio monitors if you want to practice, but that'll come at a much later day. But this is for mobile DJs, since we are starting to get back to normal around here. So those are the speakers. Then you would need speaker stands, and then of course speaker stand scrims. Ultimate support TS100Bs, support TS100B. These are really good speaker stands. Here we go, a 2-pack for $250. I purchased these on May 11th of last year, so they're about a little over a year old. And they've seen a lot of usage over the years, like heavy usage over the last year. As you can see, they're hydraulics, which means it's an easy up, easy down. But I don't know if the speakers actually come with stands. Actually, they don't, because a lot of DJs buy their own stands. So I highly recommend the Ultimate Support TS100Bs. Hydraulic speaker stands. As you can see, there's a pack of 2. One for each speaker, left and right. Not bad for $250. And for the scrims, I highly recommend the ProRec 360 speaker stand scrims. And I did purchase the ProRec speaker stand scrims. I mean, I don't really see them anymore. I guess they don't sell them much anymore, from what I can tell. But I guess if you want, there's the OnStage SSA 100 speaker / lighting stand skirts, 2-piece. I mean, this will look just as good. As you can see, it hides all the cabling, and still gives enough room to put it onto to move your cables around as they needed. So these are the best ones to get because it's a pack of 2 for $59.95. Not too bad. As you can see, they actually come with its own carrying bag. And that's what they look like. And here's what they look like with a speaker on top of it. It looks really, really good. The ProRec 360 speaker stand scrims, I don't know if they sell them much anymore. Yeah, I think they don't sell them anymore. And then after your speaker stand scrims, I guess you're ready to rock the party. But the next thing you need to get is a microphone. Let's see here. We definitely look for microphones. Yeah, mics and wireless. Take a look at some microphones that are worth purchasing for a beginner DJ. The SM48 corded dynamic vocal microphone from Shure. It's the same thing as the Shure SM58, but this one is actually cheaper at $50. And you would need a XLR cord, XLR to XLR, to connect to your mixer, to connect your microphone to the mixer and have everything as a central hub, which is what I'm going to be doing with my Yamaha MG10. I'm going to use it as a central hub between my controller, my microphones, because I found doing the wedding I had to disconnect the wireless lapel in order to connect my wireless handhelds. So it was kind of a pain because I only got one microphone input on the controller, especially for an indoor ceremony. I really have to do that. So we'll look for HOSA XLR to XLR. See what we can find. So after the Shure SM48 or the SM58, which is a really good microphone, it'll last a long time, even since, for the beginning from the beginning of your career. I'm gonna go to a random HOSA cable and go down to and visit the HOSA store right down here at the bottom and go to XLR to XLR. Because it'll go from your microphone into your mixer. So we definitely need XLR to XLR. And for your microphone, I highly recommend a 5-foot cord, which gives you enough travel for $13.60. That's a really good XLR cable. Oh, it's the Pro lineup. $13.60. There's a 3-foot cord, a 5-foot cord, a 10-foot cord, 15, 20, 25 foot, 30. But I guess I highly recommend a 5-foot cord and get the Pro lineup. It'll last you a good while. As you can see here, this will go into your microphone and then into your mixer's XLR microphone input, and you can have a simple volume control for your microphone. Just in case you want to talk over the music, maybe turn it down a little bit, and you can have better control over your volume on the Xenix 1202 effects. And that's all you need. And other than that, you're ready to rock the party. And then, of course, the upgrades will come throughout time. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a brand new video. Till next time, your boy DJ Cool Thing from Cool Thing Entertainment, out. Peace.